about to be dragging the mess out of all the zodiac signs. So if you thought you were safe, you better hold your wig on tight, because you got a storm coming your way. I was trying to sound like a news anchor person, like, you know, the storm was coming, like the hurricane to snatch your guys' wigs, but it was a flop. Welcome to my channel. I've been wanting to make this video for such a long time. You guys don't even understand. I'm obsessed with astrology. Like, it's to another level. I'm the annoying bitch that asks, like,
are you Leo? That makes sense.
And then like everybody kind of looks at me like, damn, is this bitch judging the fuck out of me? It's just kind of this thing that I can't like get rid of. But before I get into dragging to filth, I'm gonna ask for you to do two things. Follow my Instagram at Kahlen Barry, because I'm becoming an Instagrammer. Like, I'm starting to model, like I'm starting to take pictures. Like, who do I think I am? I don't know. Am I actually a social media influencer for once? Maybe. I'm trying. The second thing that I want you to do is slap that like button, like slap the mess out of it. Like it just got done talking some mad shit. Like I want you to drag it by the weave. Now that you've done those two things, hopefully, and if you didn't, I'm coming to find you. I'm just kidding. I'm not a psychopath or a sociopath. I know some YouTubers that are though. And yeah, we're gonna get on into the video, but before we do, I'm excited to announce that this video is sponsored by Movie, which is a free app for iOS and Android to edit. So if you guys are trying to look into getting into YouTube and you can't afford a MacBook Pro systems yet, the app is very simple to use, and I think that it is a really good introduction into editing. There's a ton of filters and settings, so like you can spice the video up like more than me because I'm too lazy, but if you want to get creative, then you can. You can also share on Instagram, Facebook, and all other types of social media platforms with the click of a button. But yeah, I just think that it's cool. So definitely make sure to go check it out. It's free, why not? You can download it by clicking the link in the description. But yeah, now jumping into the signs, the first sign that we're gonna be talking about is the Aries. Okay, so my mother's an Aries, and you guys have seen her on my channel. She is literally insane. Like, she's so wild, like so extra. Like, I'm pretty sure that I got it from her. But I think Aries, you know, they are a fire sign. The thing about you guys is that you guys are very like outgoing in a sense. Like, I mean, there are some very introverted Aries too that I've met, but I think that you guys have good hearts and, you know, you care about people. But because of that, it's very easy for you guys to get into the wrong crowds. Like, all the Aries that I kind of grew up with in high school would always be those people that are so nice and that you like, but all their friends were like assholes. And I'd be like, why are you friends with them? And then you even start to get some of the same characteristics as those people. And I just think it stems from like you having a desire to be liked, you having a desire to have companionship because you love people. And sometimes, you know, it just leads you into wrong directions. You guys kind of have this thing where you want to make people better and it backfires on you a lot, or you just get yourselves into bad situations. So best advice for Aries, you are ride or die, but you need to learn how to think for yourself just a little bit. And I'm sorry I had to drag you, but I'm gonna drag you. It's okay, I'm gonna drag myself too. I'm dragging everybody. The second sign that we're gonna be talking about is the Taurus. And can I just say something before I even get into this? Tauruses, you guys are fucking everything. Like, you guys are so amazing. Like, the world doesn't deserve you, and you're so slept on and so underrated, and it breaks my heart so much. You guys are just like so protective and like such good listeners and so comforting, and I feel like you guys just have this very homey vibe. Like, I just like being around you because it just makes me feel warm. People that are in my life that are Tauruses, that are my friends, are always the people that I just know, no matter what, they have my back, and I really appreciate that. And a lot of people appreciate that. And I feel like Tauruses, that breaks my heart is that you guys don't feel appreciated. Like, you guys feel like everybody hates you. You think things a lot. Like, you overthink your future a lot. Like, sometimes you don't think you're good enough. That's just the one thing that I just wish y'all would realize how awesome you are. Like, holy crap. Y'all are so loyal. Like, the most loyal people. But the negative things about you, we're gonna talk about them now. You guys are very quick to jump to conclusions. Y'all are very quick. You create scenarios in your head of like all these things that never happened. You know, you guys are very defensive. You guys are the bulls. Like, if you feel like somebody's messing with you, you don't give them the horns. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you have to remember that like not everybody's out to get you. Just loosen up a little bit. The Gemini. Had to make that evil laugh because I'm a Gemini, and Geminis are the craziest motherfuckers on the earth. When you get a bad Gemini, they are hell. So let me just spell it this way. Celebrity examples of Geminis are Donald Trump, Kanye West. Those are two examples. So those are the Geminis that are the extremist Geminis. They're just like fucking crazy. Let's just be honest. So the positive is that you're very adaptable. You get along with most everybody. Sometimes Geminis get deemed as being two-faced, but I don't see them as being two-faced. I just see it as they're very adaptable and they are able to change their opinion. They're very good at communicating. They're very good at words. Geminis are the most creative people, like, ever. Like, I've never met a Gemini who doesn't have some artistic ability. Like, they're very able to turn pain into art. They're very honest. They will tell you exactly what is on their mind. And sometimes you didn't ask for it, but they will still give their opinion whether you ask for it or not. They're loyal to the people who are loyal to them. Now let's get into the negative, okay? First thing I'm gonna talk about is how they are good at communicating and how they're good at words. They can be also very manipulative. And the thing about their words is that they cut deep. So if you ever get in an argument with a Gemini, just know that like it's over for you, boo. They say things that hurt intentionally. Like when they get into fights with you, they're going to throw at you the worst possible thing that they can say that is going to cut the motherfucking deepest. In the beginning, you know, they could either be very, very nice. Like me, I'm the type of person, I've shared this on my channel before, where I'm super nice to you if you're nice to me. I love people who are kind, and that's where I do well in. But if I'm surrounded by people who are negative or people who cross me or test me or try me, then like I'm gonna fucking pop off and you're gonna get the twin. And when you get the twin, you done fucked up. But some Geminis, they're bitchy when you meet them. That's their front, that's their wall, that's their defense. But then when you get to know them better and you get into their world, then you get to see the sweet side. So it just depends on what kind they are. So the positive about Cancers is that their love is very, 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 very strong. I feel like they're really easy to vibe with too, because they are more quiet a little bit, but like once they come out of their shell, their literal shell, because they're like crabs, that's literally their symbol, they are just like fun. Like they're just fun people to be around. They make you feel good about yourself. Like that's the one thing, they really make you feel good about yourself. Your family life is so important to you, and that's something that I admire about Cancers, and something that I think so cool is that family comes first. They are very family oriented, and that shows. Just very affectionate. I feel like you're just nice. You know, you're just pleasant to be around. Like the good sides about you are amazing. Like your good sides are like the coolest thing ever. But we gotta talk about your negative. And this is where I'm about to spill the motherfucking tea. You guys are the biggest manipulators and the biggest victimizers. Every single time that something happens, it always is everybody else's fault. You can't take accountability for the things that you do. In relationships, you guys are so passive aggressive. If they don't like somebody, they don't want any of their friends to fuck with that person. Like they don't want anyone to fuck with that person that they don't like. Cancers that are watching this, I know I'm going in deep, but I don't want you guys watching this to think that I hate you, because I don't. Like I have so many Cancers in my life that are fucking amazing, and you guys that watch me that are fucking amazing that are Cancers too. So please just don't, because I know I'm going hard, because this is like one of my least favorite signs, like as a whole, and I'm sorry about it, but I just gotta keep it 100. You guys try to protect your guys' selves so much, and that's like a thing. Like I guess that's where I can get, I guess, why y'all victimize yourselves. Not to make excuses, but I kind of understand, because you're very protective of yourselves and you have like a literal shell. So I think it's more out of defense than anything else. Like you can't take criticism very well. So the next sign that I'm gonna talk about is Leo, and this is like close to home because my Venus is in Leo. So if you don't know what that means, that is like loving, like the way you love, because love is ruled by Venus, just so you guys know, because some of you guys might not be super into astrology. So when you look at your like charts, your birth charts or whatever, and it says that your Venus is in Scorpio or in Leo or in Aries or whatever it's in, like that's gonna tell you characteristics about the way you love, right? So mine is in Leo. So like a lot of the things that I'm gonna say about them in relationships also applies to me, so I'm also dragging myself. So Leos, you guys are just some sexy motherfuckers, okay? Y'all are sexy motherfuckers. They're very dominant. Like every single time that you're around like a Leo, I feel like you know, because it's just like this very strong aura. I don't know how to explain it. You guys don't even have to try to like be likable or charming. Like everybody wants to follow you. I feel like Leos are just naturally kind of leaders, but they're also aligned. I mean, it makes sense. Like their things align. So I mean, it makes sense that everybody just wants to follow y'all. And they don't even like want people to follow them. Like that's the thing I noticed too. Like it's not like they're out here trying to be like Regina George and like summoning people up. People just kind of just want to be like them. Like, I don't know. But they do make you feel safe and protected. Like if they're friends with you, like if you go to a party with a Leo, you don't ever have to worry about anybody pulling up trying to pull some crap and being like by yourself. Like if anybody tries anything and you are friends with a Leo, that Leo is going to pop the fuck off period. They do not let people walk over the people they care about. They're so defensive about the people they love, like literally over the top defensive. And like I said, my Venus is in Leo, so I'm the same exact way. Like when I love somebody, like you better not try it. And that's not even just romantic, that's in general. Like my friends, my family, anybody, they're the best people to cuddle with. Like I'm just like gonna go like on a tangent about how sexy Leos are. Like Leos are just sexy. But now we're gonna talk about the negative. Leos are very possessive. Like when they are with somebody, I feel like that person is theirs. And in a way, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be negative. Like there's the positive to it. Like they value the people they're with, or you get like, they think that you're their property and they can be like very controlling of you in that way. The type of person that does not want you to be on Instagram posting certain types of pictures, Leos can be that. And it doesn't have to be to that extreme, but there's always a little possessiveness. You guys have very high expectations for everybody, and like me, I'm the same exact way. I'm dragging myself. You're very picky about like who you like and like who you date. And they have to fit like all these things on this list, like the perfect image that's in your mind of what you want in somebody. And if they don't fit that, then you get turned off very easily, and it's very quick. Like you guys are so quick. Like when Cardi B said quick to cut a motherfucker off, so don't get comfortable. She's a Libra, but she was pretending to be a Leo, because that's exactly what will happen. Like you get turned off just as quickly as you get turned on. They're always in a fling. Like they date people so much. They are serial daters. Like they will date somebody one week and then the next, you know, you'll be talking to them like as a friend, like asking like, how's everything going with Steve? And they'll be like, oh, me and Steve ain't talking no more. I moved on to Brenda. It's just like, they like move on so quick. Virgos, love y'all so much. My best friend's a Virgo. Okay, shout out Virgos. Virgos are like the fucking best, and like they're so slept on and so underrated. If you are a Virgo, I want you to know I fuck with you heavily, okay? I fuck with you heavily. So let's talk about the positive. Virgos are those type of friends that hold you down. They know how to make things enjoyable when they're chaotic, if that makes sense. Like if there's anybody that you want to be with when the world ends, like when everything's crashing down, you want to be with a Virgo, because they're the type of bitches that'll joke while they're like dying. Because they're used to that. Like their lives always have some level of chaos in them, and they're just used to making things work with chaotic ass shit. They want to try to make things work, and that can be a little negative sometimes too, because they'll continue to try to make things work after like they're already beating a dead horse, which sucks. And they're very intuitive. Train, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to talk about Virgos. Okay, the hate train just won't go away. But yeah, they're also very smart. They usually get really good grades in school. They're organized, and not everyone is, by the way. So now the negative about Virgos, they don't know when to walk away. They will continuously be in toxic friendships, toxic relationships, and they will just sit there, and all their friends will be like, you need to leave that bitch, he ain't good for you. And they'll just be like, but he's just so nice, he's so different, he's so changed, he's so good, he's the one for me. And we'll be like, no the fuck he's not, sweetheart. And they'll continuously just be making excuses for this piece of crap motherfucker that they're with. They give too much of themselves to please their partners. Self-destructive as shit, okay? Ruining your life. Y'all stay ruining your lives! Like y'all do the most crazy shit. Like I swear Bella from Twilight was a Virgo. Like when Edward disappeared and she was riding the motorcycle so that she could see him, or like when she jumped off the cliff, like just because she wanted to see Edward for 0.5 seconds, like that was a Virgo. You're bottlers. Also, you don't like to talk about your feelings. You really don't. So if we're gonna use Beyonce as an example, like she doesn't do interviews. Like she doesn't like people in her business. That's how they are. They're very private people. Unless you're really close to them and they're really good friends with you, they're not spilling all their tea to you. They are not gonna spill their motherfucking tea to anybody that they don't trust. Like period. You could offer them money and they ain't gonna spill. Libra, my future husband or wife is going to be a Libra. Like I just know it, because I feel like they're the only people that can tolerate my ass for like as long as they can. They're very like able to see both sides. Like I feel like they're not the type of person that when friends argue, they're gonna just go with the popular side or whatever. They think for themselves, and I love and respect that so much. They believe in balance. Like that's their thing. Like they're literally scales. That's their symbol. They need to have healthy balance in the relationships that they're in, or they're not gonna feel comfortable. Like for them, harmony is very important. And that's why they would be really really good lawyers or really good people in the justice system because they believe in fairness. For them, they don't stop until justice is served. I guess if that makes sense. Like, they really believe in something and they will go out of their way to make sure the right thing happens. Like, they don't like things to just be left as is. They're not the kind of person who takes things for what it is. They are the change that they want to see in the world, and that's something that's so admirable about them. They love the small things in life. They like somebody who can make them laugh. Now let's talk about the negative about Libras. They can't make the mind up for shit, okay? Because they have that balance thing where they can see both sides, it becomes very hard for them to pick a side sometimes. They don't pick sides where they shouldn't pick sides, which is good. But when it comes to where they need to make a decision, they see the pros and the cons in every situation, and it's very hard for them to pick what they should do. They hold grudges too. Like, they don't never let anything go. Every single Libra that I've dealt with, when somebody does them wrong, if we beefing forever. Like, that is literally the fucking slogan of the Libra. Now let's talk about the Scorpio. I feel like the Scorpio is a very controversial sign. Like, I feel like a lot of people really like them, and there's a lot of people who fucking hate their guts. Honestly, for me, I get along with most Scorpios. I have a lot of Scorpios in my life, but then there are a lot of Scorpios that I can't stand at the same time, and I'll tell you why. So Scorpios are very fun. Like, they invent the life of the party. Like, if you go out with a Scorpio to a club ever, like, you know exactly what I'm talking about. They're the ones who turn up. They have a good time. They invented literally the idea of being drunk, but I'm pretty sure they invented alcohol, like literally. They're fun to be around. You know, they defend their friends. They are ride or die people too in that way. They love very strongly, just like a Leo, just like a lot of signs like Pisces. They feel it to their core though. Like, when they love somebody, they love and it hurts them. Like, they're committed. So even in friendships and relationships, they're very committed. They're compassionate. And that's something that people think Scorpios aren't. Like, people think Scorpios are hard all the time. No, they're compassionate. And they also have a really like unique way of showing they care about you. Like, they do little things. Like, every Scorpio that's been in my life, I could feel like, you know, sometimes like, oh wow, like they're not thinking about me, or oh wow, like we're not as close as I thought we were, or any little doubt that I get in my mind. And at the weirdest times, they will just do the cutest little things. Like, whether it's sending you a paragraph on your birthday, whether it's like just randomly messaging you asking how your day is. Like, they do little things just randomly to show like people their love. Now we're gonna talk about the negative of the Scorpio, and this is, I feel like, where people don't like them, is that they are a water sign just like Cancer and Pisces, and their actions are very emotionally driven. So I think sometimes people don't like them because they can't understand them or read them well. And I think Scorpios have this thing where they just kind of take things out on other people. And even my friends, I call them out on it all the time. And it's not because they're trying to hurt everyone in their path. It's just because they feel everything strongly. So if somebody does like the nastiest, worst thing to them, like, they're gonna be in a bad mood. And it's gonna be very clear that they're in a bad mood. They get snappy and they will snap at you. Like, you could be the one on the receiving end of the freaking stinger thing on them if you're not careful. When they're in love, like, sometimes love makes them crazy as fuck. But yeah, Scorpios they're great. They're troubled. They're my favorite water sign, that's for sure. Sagittarius, let's talk about you. Sagittarius are so generous. Like, they will go buy their friends gifts out of nowhere. Like, they literally the type of person that pays for dinner or tries to, and they will literally surprise their friends like for their birthday. Like, they will throw a surprise party. They think long-term in relationships. They don't go into them to fail. They're optimists. Like, you've heard that before. They are optimists. They think things with positive endings, even though sometimes they are very moody. Like, they're so positive all the time that it gets drained, and then they're just negative as fuck for like a small period of time. And if you catch them on that time, ugh, it's so bad. But they fight fair. Like, they don't dwell in arguments. Like, you can get an argument with Sagittarius and they will like move on from it. Like, they're pretty cool people like that. You have to really do something, honestly, for them to like hate you, because you can get into a fight with them and they will make up because they don't really believe in beef. They're also like kind of in the beginning, not necessarily shy because they're outgoing Sagittariuses too, but you don't see their real colors until they feel comfortable enough to show them. Like, in the beginning, they might seem reserved or quiet, but then like once you get to know them, they are like, they're fun people. So here's the negative, the judgmental. I feel like because they are optimists, right? they are successful because law of attraction. If you think positively, positive things usually happen for you. So they have really like lucky lives in a sense. Like there's stuff that happens bad to them, but I feel like they're positive and things usually work out for them in the end. And I feel like they're kind of the people who compare their lives to everyone else's. Whether that's judging somebody else or feeling like I'm not pretty enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not this enough. They judge either themselves or other people. They compare people a lot. They're always comparing people. It seems like they're never satisfied. Like they could do everything, like become a billionaire and they'll never be satisfied. Like they always have a hunger for more. And that can be good actually. You know, they're very ambitious, but then that can also be bad because sometimes you can get too ambitious where you push yourself to do really wild stuff and it just gets toxic. And they're very passive aggressive when they are upset at you. They don't know how to take compliments half the damn time either. Neither do Libras. Y'all need to get better at that. Capricorns, love you so much. My best friend in the entire world is a Capricorn. Capricorns are just so determined. Like I am a Capricorn rising and I feel like if I want something, I do not take no for an answer. They will go get what they want. They make things happen. And I love that about them. They're like the freaking goats. Like they're on the mountains climbing, like you ain't knocking them down. Like they getting what they want. They making it happen. They love uniqueness. They crave difference. They crave people who push them to be better. The saying of you are who you surround yourself with, they really take that in consideration. They're very cool people to be around. They're very fun. They're very loving. They hold you down. They're loyal. They're funny. They're like charismatic. They're energetic. Like there's so many good things about Capricorns. Like I could go on forever. I love Capricorns to death. And if you're a Capricorn and you're feeling like real good about yourself, you should because you're fucking amazing. The negative, y'all stubborn as motherfuck. People say Tauruses are stubborn, but I feel like you guys are more stubborn. Like when you have your mind made up, it is made up, honey, and ain't nobody changing nothing. And if they do change it, they have to do a lot of convincing because like I said, you're determined. So that goes both ways, whether it means making things happen for yourselves or you're determined to be stubborn. Like you are also very petty sometimes. Like when people ask, are you okay? You'll be like, I'm good, I'm doing great. And obviously you're not doing good, but you're being petty. You guys are petty sometimes and it drives me crazy. And I know I'm like that too, but oh. Will leave the relationships if they're dating somebody if they feel like they're losing its original spark. They like to be kept on their toes. They like energetic. They like things that push them to be better. They don't like boring and they don't like staying in the same place for too long. Aquariuses, my brother's an Aquarius and he drives me fucking crazy, but I'm supposed to be compatible with Aquariuses too, but I also love Aquariuses because they're the sweetest human beings in the world. My brother, honestly, me growing up, I was like a Gemini ass bitch kinda cause you know, I was an older brother, like you know how that kinda is. And he was just always so sweet. Like every single time I wanted to watch a show, he would literally like let me watch the show. Like he would always take the back seat. Aquariuses put people they care about before everyone else. They're so loving, they're so caring, but they're gentle. They're sweethearts. They will give you the shirt off their back. Like there's not anything really else to say. They're just like really good human beings. Now the negative about them, you can't read them for shit because they're so laid back, they're so chill. You don't understand, do they hate you, do they love you? Like you can't tell. And I feel like if there's any sign that you can't read that well when they're like in that mode, it's an Aquarius. Like you can't tell. It's like they shut themselves down all the time in a sense too. The amount of fucks that they appear to not give is very concerning because they don't seem to give a fuck about anything, even though they do obviously, but like it just seems like they don't give a fuck. And especially when they don't like something or they're not passionate about something, they don't even try or pretend to show interest in it. They're just gonna be like, yeah. Okay, the last sign, Pisces, okay? Least favorite sign, sorry, like please don't kill me if you're a Pisces, because you will. That's the thing. But I gotta talk about the positive first, okay? Pisces are very loving, the most loving people as far as the way they love. Like they're very, very, very passionate. They're so romantic. They're the most romantic sign. They're great listeners. They're charming. They're fun to be around, kind of like Cancers. They have that very warm thing when, you know, they're having that side of them. But when you get to the other side of them and you start to see like them for all they are, not just the surface, because they're fishes. So when they're at the top of the surface, they look all pretty and glistening in the sun, right? And the ripples of their little scales are cute. But then when you go underwater and you get deep down and it's dark, you start to see who they really are, and some of the colors ain't that pretty sometimes. Not all of them are like that, because there's some Pisces that I fucking am obsessed with and I love them all the time and they're not negative at all, but I feel like if you have a Pisces who's a fish that swims downstream versus swimming upstream, you're gonna have somebody who's very, very like aggressive. They're the kind of person that's like the grown adult that kind of acts like a baby. Because you guys are emotional, and I do get that. Like you're a water sign, once again. Water signs are emotional. But it's like you throw tantrums, like you guys are grown. Well, sometimes you're grown, like you might not be grown, but like you're grown, like stop. But to go back to positive, because I feel like I have to simmer this down just because I don't want you guys to think I'm personally attacking you, even though I am dragging everybody, but I don't want you to think I hate you, because once again, I don't hate anybody. You guys do give a lot to the people you care about, as I said. You give your all, actually, like everything. And that can be negative too, because you will like trade a job that you worked really hard for, or your dreams. Like you will let your dreams take the back seat, or even friendships, because of how much you love somebody, and that hurts you in the end, and that's not good. You think about your first love, because when you love somebody, it never goes. Like you can try to pretend like you don't have feelings, but every single person you love, you have some feelings for. It doesn't mean that you're romantically invested in them, or you want to date them, or you want to cheat on your partner for your ex, but it means that you care about them, and there's always going to be a special place in your heart for them no matter what, because that's just how you are. But yeah, you think about your ex, you wonder how they are. All right guys, that is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to click that like button. Also subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and click that bell to be notified every single time that I upload a new video. Also, let me remind you, if you have not followed my Instagram yet, at Kahlen Barry, KAHLENBARRY, please go follow my Instagram. I'm gonna be posting a lot of pictures soon. But I love you guys so much. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you super soon with a new video. Love you. Bye.